We're on the what is it?
The Audio Wave Network.
We're on the Audio Wave Network. 313 Believe in the house. My friend Shannon, Ramelow,
And Glenn Urquhart.
Urquhart. Is it Urquhart or Arcart?
Urquhart,
Urquhart.
I think. I don't know. I don't even halfway know it myself, and it really doesn't matter.
Right, and we got Mike the Chihuahua,
Mike the Chihuahua.
who is a renowned artist.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, the purpose of this podcast basically is to get to know each other a tad bit better.
Perfect.
And also, we all have projects that are going on, and I want to talk about those projects and see how we can all kind of collaborate with each other. I like when artists get together and do things. That's the only way I do things, actually. So, yeah, that's the reason for this podcast. So we're over at the Detroit Artist Test Lab. In the Test Lab is we have a podcast network called the Audio Wave Network, and we're using their studios. Even though it's in my building, it's their studios. We have a couple of things going on over here, and with post-COVID stuff going on, it's been a difficult time here at the art lab. So we've been.
That's right. You had a number of as far as I know, I discovered Glenn in my real estate world, and he has a number of ongoing tenants and artist collaborative businesses here, and then COVID changed everything. Tell us about that.
Yeah, COVID changed everything. So I don't sell a product, I sell space. And so when you're selling space, I got an event space, we got gallery, we have a very small gift shop that we were building, 2 podcast studios, a bartending school.
Where's the other podcast studio?
Right behind here. I've got.
This is a very nice podcast studio.
Thank you. This one's the white podcast studio, and then we have one that's all black. So.
Black studios matter.
Yep. There you go. Everything changed. Mm-hmm. Everything changed rapidly, and
everyone's staying at home.
Yeah. And so now we have to figure this out. Yeah. And I don't know if I'll weather the storm.
You will. You always do.
I don't know. You know, it's a new world. So I have to change with it, obviously, and I will, but I don't know if this place will change with it.
Right.
Because we're selling space.
Yeah. We're selling the space.
Yeah. So it's a different deal.
Do we talk about the building itself and what we're trying to do?
Yeah, so it's on the market now.
14600 Mack is on the market, but
yes,
we're looking possibly for investors that want to maybe buy the building and let us stay.
Yeah, I would do that. I've had a couple offers of that. Yeah. And it's an interesting proposition, but then you're going into business with somebody else. Yeah. And taking on debt and doing this and doing that. And of course it's not going to be clean. There's no way that this building is going to sell. This building, and if I do say so myself, I'm going to brag just a little bit. Mm-hmm. I built a badass place here. Yeah. And
you bought this in 2009, right?
Yeah.
And you transformed this. It was an abandoned building or something?
Yeah, it was abandoned.
How does one acquire the rights or whatever, or you just take over an abandoned? Was it complicated?
No, it was owned by a nonprofit, mm-hmm. and they were gearing up to do all kinds of things with the building itself, and then the crash hit, mm-hmm. and they went from, I think they had, if I'm not mistaken, they had something like 45 employees over at this nonprofit. They went down to 5 after the crash. Yeah. In 2008. So with that,
does it still exist? What is a nonprofit? Or you don't
it still exists. Yeah. It's now called the Eastside Community Network, and they're a great bunch of people.
What do they do?
They do community development, business and community development. They're amazing people.
Cool.
And so I'm really impressed by them. But I bought it from the old regime
Of them.
Of them. They changed. It was called Warren Connor. So we bought the building basically for nothing.
Right.
And then I put, you know,
The house.
8 years of work into it.
Right.
And so, I mean, this is where we're at now. Now with things changing again, so here we stand. I think it's a great opportunity for somebody to come in, and my community here has been amazing to me. They've offered me money to stay in the neighborhood, which is phenomenal.
That's like a Motor City thing. Or
No, this is the actual
they
community.
don't want. They're like Glenn.
They don't want. They
We
don't
want
me
you to leave. Here's
Right.
money to stay.
Yep. They offered me a bridge loan, 0%.
You mean like banks or communities?
It was a community. They called it, and
Wow.
they just got together and brought me into a meeting. There were 10 of them from the community.
Because they don't want like urban blight and stuff. They want people like you, artists, to bring in the renewal.
And that's what, you know, like Shannon's an artist. These are the people that we need around here. You know, we need.
Here, you wave to the camera, Shannon. Whatever. She's back here.
Anyways,
Yeah, I agree. Like spaces like this, like are amazing, and to have different events in here and opportunities to show your work and to meet other artists and meet other small businesses. I think this is a great space for that. And so
you know,
I'm
the,
sad to see
the,
it go.
the cool thing, and it won't go. That's I've made the commitment to myself. Even if I have to sell the building, I've got another one down the road that got my eye on. That
Are
I
you
don't
going to
have-
transform it similarly? Or?
Yeah, that I won't have to go into debt for. Because if I have to, you know, like, I don't want to go into debt to keep the place. And we've been debt free here, and it's a nice feeling. And it's the only way that I can do art shows and do all this stuff that I do with artists is because I don't have any debt. I don't make any money. Don't get me wrong, but you know, I don't. You know, I'm not hurting. Or
Money is
wasn't.
relative.
Well,
And what is money right now? The government's printing it like there's no tomorrow, giving it away.
yeah, politically, it's interesting.
And speaking of which, can we talk about the ArtPrize yet, or?
Yeah.
Because that's going to be huge. Tell us about what you're doing with ArtPrize coming up here at the Detroit Artist Test Lab and all this stuff, and how 313 Believe can contribute and all this stuff.
Well, I don't think we're going to call it ArtPrize,
Okay.
only because Grand Rapids
Yeah, I
called
was
theirs.
confused.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
were you guys talking about the Grand Rapids thing?
Exactly. So, Shannon, did you know that ArtPrize is canceled this year?
I assume so. Since
Did you
everyone
assume
else
it? See, I didn't. I thought, you know, with it all being, a lot of it being outside anyways, and all in open spaces, I thought, oh no, they, you know, like, they'll keep that going and maybe you pare it back or you do something that, no, they totally canceled it. Well, I'm upset, and so were a lot of other people, so I thought in a reaction to that is I want to have my own little art prize.
Yeah.
And it might be just for this year and never happen again, and who knows, you know, I just and I thought, well, and I talked to the businesses around here. I've talked to other a nonprofit that would take care of the money for me because I don't want to have my hands on any of the money. But their concerns were people going into businesses when they weren't really there to do business, and what does COVID look like at that time, and blah, 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 all that kind of jazz. So we decided to do everything outside. We'll do sculpture outside, and also, like, you do mixed media. So if you were doing like a painting with some other, you know, like whatever that looks like, a flat piece, we can display them in shop windows. So you can have like a tour guide, you know, that you can go around and take a look at the art pieces, and then people would vote on them just like the real Art Prize.
Okay,
And we won't steal that name. We'll call it Art something, or we'll change it to an S instead of a Z
Or
or a
Detroit
Z.
Test Lab Prize. Or Test
Yeah,
Lab.
yeah.
Test Lab Prize.
Test Lab
Or
Prize.
Lab Prize.
Yeah.
Detroit,
Lab Prize.
Detroit
Detroit
Lab.
Lab Prize.
Yeah.
Something.
So that it was a reaction to that being canceled.
Okay.
The cool thing is,
Yeah, you got to enter this thing.
Okay.
you do. I mean, and I want to open that up to anybody, but I have to. What my big barrier is now, I have to be totally transparent about the whole thing, like how the committee who picks the people to go into the artists to go into the different spaces. Like, I got to make sure that no one's being biased with that, and I've had and then the prize money itself. I don't want to handle that prize money because it looks like I might be giving it out to like I just have to be, and I found this out as I was digging deeper into this. Like, this idea is like, oh, this is a pain in the ass. Like, there's a lot to do to make sure that, because and the commitment that I got so far was $18,000. It's
For the prize money.
for the prize money.
And that's huge.
Yeah.
So you already have the prize money. We're just going to. And what dates are we looking at for the art? This
End of September,
Detroit Test
early
Lab Prize?
October, which is the same time that the real Art Prize
Yeah.
was.
I've actually never been to Art Prize, but I wanted to go this year.
Yep,
because, like,
there you go.
Detroit Test
Heard of
Lab
it.
Prize doesn't sound that bad.
Yeah, it's a little much.
It's a little long.
And-
I like
plus-
Detroit Lab Prize.
Yeah, and the thing with
Detroit Lab Prize.
well, with all that is, I don't
This is
I
just
don't
a
need
test.
it. I don't need it connected to me. I don't need to promote myself. I need to promote this area.
Yeah.
We've got a great corridor here with some phenomenal businesses, and literally, like, I live here.
The
and
Mack Prize.
it could be the Mack Prize.
The Big Mac Prize. No, I was just kidding. I'm sorry. How about the Art Mac Prize, Mike? Sorry.
But so I mean, the not way up.